We're back talking with Mary, Rick Van Dyke, Keith Reagan, Harriet Hartley. We were just sitting here enjoying the band, saying the band ought to have their own show on television or something, but you don't hear the band at home like you do here in the studio, which we've said many times.
Why don't they have stereo television? It seems it would be so simple technically.
Yeah.
Because you hear these guys at home on that little speaker, and it doesn't. When you get down here.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
The greatest band alive.
Sure is.
So.
If I go back 25 years with Ed Shaughnessy there from the Gary Moore daytime show back in the 50s, right, Ed? God, how are you?
I remember appearing on the old Gary Moore show, one of the first network shows I did when I went back to New York in the early days. What was your first television appearance that you ever made, locally or nationally?
Well, mine was a series of commercials for Hot Point appliances, and they appeared on the Ozzie and Harriet television show, and I played...
Just commercials?
Yes, I played Happy Hot Point, a little pixie who sold...
Happy Hot Point. I'm not going to touch the net with...
So embarrassed.
Happy Hot Point. Well, it does sound like somebody would hustle on the boulevard, to tell you the truth. Here comes Happy Hot Point. So it was commercials.
Yeah?
You know, I know Dick was in radio. Were you ever disc jockey at all?
Yeah, I was a disc jockey in my teens. You were too?
Yeah,
weren't you?
At Omaha.
Up in Nebraska?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good
Played
training.
your own records, ripped the news off during the record playing, and...
Did everything.
Yeah.
Did everything.
I used to go there after school and close the station at 11:30, and I would be the only human being in that station at 16 years old. It was in the basement of a hotel, so I got a lot of drunks coming and saying, "Where is the men's room?"
Yeah. I remember I lost a sponsor when I had one of my sponsors in the morning was the Douglas County Bank, and even then I didn't want to play it quite straight. And I said, it was the Friendly Bank. I said, you need money, drop in. I said, anytime, 3, 4 in the morning, help yourself, leave a note. And they saw no humor in that whatsoever. I thought that was wonderful, but it didn't pay off. What was the very first show you ever did?
Diamond,
the very first... Well, that was a series, Richard Diamond. That was the first continuing part I had, however, was off camera. I played his sexy-voiced telephone operator.
Now I didn't know that.
We saw your legs, though.
Saw the legs.
Yeah, boy.
Those were... Now I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Richard Diamond,
Mr.
private.
D.
Hi, Mr. D. And they'd show the legs.
Yeah.
I'll be doggone. Yeah. Did you ever have any arguments when you worked together? On how something should be done on the show when you were working?
I don't think
we ever did.
Ever argued. No.
Never. No, it was almost mind reading.
Right.
Yeah.
At that time, I'd never heard the word chemistry as applied to performing.
Right.
And Carl Reiner knew what it was, but he never said the word chemistry. What he said before we shot the pilot was, I'd like for you to spend the weekend together.
And build a relationship.
That's right. Yeah. He knew what it was.
Did you, one time, somebody told me you were supposed to do the Ed Sullivan Show, and it didn't come off, or... Is that true?
That was just me. That was, with my partner, Phil Erickson. We had an act. We were on the Ed Sullivan Show when Margaret Truman made her debut, and she did an encore, and we weren't on. I never got on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Because?
I was supposed to be on the Ed Sullivan Show once and didn't get on, too.
What happened to you?
Well, because they said you can pre-record your song. I was scared to death about singing. I was a little baby, and not a baby, but, I was, 21 years old?
Yes.
Isn't that what we've established?
That's what we decided,
And then at the last minute, they said, no, you have to do it live. And so I said, no, I can't take that chance. So the two of us hold that distinction then
of never having
been on the Sullivan Show.
I was on, but I got canceled once because I think the bear ran long or something.
That bear did it to you.
He had strange bookings. And here's the golden bear, and right after that, the comedy spot after it. Following a bear is not easy.
We had so much fun doing this show that you'll see Sunday night because we got to play Rob and Laura Petrie.
You went back right in the...
Yeah, we played Rob and Laura today, dealing with today's problems at our ages. And then in a second sketch, we play Rob and Laura celebrating their 68th wedding anniversary. And that was because he is the master of the older man.
He does it beautifully.
And it's getting easier every day.
Pretty soon, no makeup, no nothing.
Very little makeup.
No, I saw you and Carol Burnett at the same time next year here at the Huntington Hartford. And you were sensational when you did that little afterpiece, when you both came on as...
Oh, yes, a couple of...
that you thought out, and it was wonderful. Because Dick and I are both Laurel and Hardy fans, and he probably does the best Stan Laurel of anybody in the business. When you get into that... The whole face looks like... Yeah,
there it is.
Well, all you have to do...
There is a young guy, and I'm embarrassed that I cannot think of his name right now, who works with Chuck McCann.
Yeah, I've seen that. They did a commercial.
Well, oh, yes. Marvelous.
Commercial for some windshield wipers or something, and it's really good.
I'm embarrassed I can't think of his name, but he's great.
I loved your story of there was an episode of your show in which you did a Stan Laurel, and you visited with him afterwards, and it was a magnificent piece that you did. And Stan's only comment was, well, you missed the bit of putting the paperclip on your cuffs instead of buttons.
Afterwards.
And that was all
but only
said.
afterwards. He wouldn't help me ahead of time. You go.
Those of us who had the pleasure of knowing him, and Dick knew him better, I'd talked with him several times. And what was funny when you talked with Stan Laurel was, it sounds like a guy doing Stan Laurel.
That's right.
You're so used. No, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
You pick up the phone. It's like the first time you meet Jimmy Cagney when you haven't met Jimmy Cagney. And he said, "How are you?" And you go, "Hey!" You want to say, "That's wonderful."
The best one yet.
And when Stan Laurel, I called him once when he wasn't feeling very well, and he says, "Well, you know, it was very nice of you to call." And I started to laugh. And he says, what seems to be so funny about it? And I said, because you're doing Stan Laurel. And it's a hard thing to explain. Who else is on the show besides Dick on Sunday?
That's it. That's enough.
You want to do the
That's
whole
just Dick
retrospective?
and me doing our
Did you
thing.
find when you're doing the show, the Rob Petrie show as you're doing now, that you can do more things? It was much milder in those days as far as what you could talk about?
Oh, the things we were
In
allowed
those
to
days,
do.
you wouldn't be able to do
As a matter
it.
of fact, we did, too.
You wouldn't be able to do a pot joke, you know. You wouldn't be able to say anything about pot or drugs in those days, right?
No.
No.
I'm
Well,
just
you
wondering.
still don't.
You can't?
No.
Oh.
I don't think so. Well, you can talk about them, but you don't indulge in them on the show, do you?
Oh, I didn't. Don't look at me. No. I wasn't the one that came out in the paper. I keep my little plant under here, and I don't ever discuss it. Hey, look.
No, but we were the first. When we did Dick's show, we were not allowed to sleep in the same bed together. We had to have
double beds.
twin beds.
That went back to the old days of the Hayes office in motion pictures, in which even a married couple could not be portrayed, and they went so far to show you how silly it seems nowadays, that if a couple was in bed together, do you know what one of the things that had to be
Yep,
met?
1 foot on the floor.
They had to have 1 foot on the floor. Absolutely true.
Well, that doesn't necessarily obviate.
Well, I don't know, but...
That's right. You can do both hands on the floor. It's all... Well, I don't know. It used to be. I don't know. Yeah, I can't tell you what a kick it is to have you both here tonight, really.
Oh, it's wonderful.
It's like going back old times again. And then this Sunday night, right?
It's Sunday at 10.
At 10 o'clock, Mary and Dick will be back together, and I'll be watching along with everybody
Oh,
else.
I hope so, Johnny.
Thanks for coming. Thank you, Dick.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was genuinely a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Well, you know, they've given so much entertainment. You think of the years that they've been on, the laughs you get, sensational. We'll be